broke, they think it's my fault. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands in your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get it fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my zip the back that like a popo. Don't do these, they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable to.
Can Zeke deke again? Well, it's the coach. This is the two.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott, and he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. The numbers for Zeke from last week: 25 carries, 119 yards, and the score.
How about the first month of the season for him? He leads the league in rushing, so he knows confidence is at an all-time high, which means his offensive line loves it too. They'll get more opportunities to run block for him.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get a little bit numb, because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. The first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. This is first and goal from about the 8. Steps away to his left. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Richmond. Back 22. Back 22.
On second down, here's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there at 22. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. The numbers for Miller in last week's ball game: 17 carries, 80 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Looking to throw. Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception. You got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there, and he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. A very solid gain of 27. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
Again, it's Watson. And that's complete. It's Allington. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after him. Put the pressure on him.
They get it to him running left. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. First down, Prescott. And this is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. Forced out to his left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Now Prescott. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. for the score. And the Cowboys are in for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Back 22.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. He's coming off an impressive Pro Bowl campaign in 2017.
You're talking about 14.5 sacks, tied for 2nd in the NFL. And now when offensive linemen hear the name DeMarcus Lawrence, they'll point in their boots. How do we block this guy off the edge?
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Watson now to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are in for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This is Elliott. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, They'll get to that end zone real fast.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. A first down throw for Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Throwing, Prescott, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Christian Covington in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and now it's 3rd down. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect.
Oh, Prescott stripped, and the Texans scoop it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Griffin. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Back to throw, Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still second down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Here's another second and goal, this time from half the distance closer. After the penalty, it's Miller. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans will extend their lead. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. Set to return now. Here's Deontay Thompson. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. He finds Hearns left side. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a 1st.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the 1st half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
2nd and goal from the 1. And now with the play clock winding down, Jason Garrett opts to take a timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Prescott now on 2nd down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. And now Jason Garrett electing for his guys to try for 2.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Prescott from the gun, and he's got it. So the try for two successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. And the formula there on the two-point try to go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that someone, if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. So we've come upon halftime here. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sean Lee coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Out of the gun, Watson. Room here to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. The Texans send the punter out. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Taken from just outside the 30. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Prescott now from the 50. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He may try to run for this. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a 1st down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second down, Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a pickup of just 2. And just like that, it's third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Buying time to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Down to the 25. Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here's Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's Elliott, and he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Prescott now. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down. Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are in for 6. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A gain of 32 that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's. That's exactly what they did there.
Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all, and it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
10th carry now for Lamar Miller. There's a nice move. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Now a first down throw, Watson. And he fends him off. Rolling to his left. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, this is something I may never understand. I don't get why a quarterback under duress who has a chance to get rid of the ball and save the yardage keeps it and runs out of bounds. Instead of an incomplete pass and no loss of yardage, it's a 3-yard loss.
Here's Watson. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackle.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback, because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. A first down carry by Elliott. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but This offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. A 20th carry here for Elliott. Still fighting through tackles. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That good for 22 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll try to throw down. Prescott. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Allen Hurns, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. Oh, a heck of a move. And this play is not going to work. He's out of bounds, well shy of the goal line, and the try for 2 unsuccessful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown or the 2-point conversion. Field goals are going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started. Nice game. Get some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Watson looking for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
From the gun, here's Watson. Caught here by Griffin. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
Again, it's Miller. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
A big spot now for the Texans as they'll try for 2. Here's Watson. And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted to tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done. Get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Elliott. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Now Elliott. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight, but I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
To throw is Prescott. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push. And what do they do?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Leading the surge there, he drops him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Prescott. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Intentional grounding, offense.
Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Ellington now to return it. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. They go play action here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They keep it with Miller on 1st down. And room there to work it inside the 25. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. On 3rd down, Miller. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. Certainly they want to win this game, but down 3, they know what they need to do. Get in field goal range, at least have a chance to tie.
And if you approach it the right way, you almost have a safety net. Knowing just a field goal gets it done, You don't press for the touchdown, but you take it if the opportunity comes, if the opening's there. Someone slips into secondary and you get a big play. But otherwise, get the 3. Put that on the board and try to extend the game.
They'll be trying to muster 3. Of course, they'd love the score to win it. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.